Sama Spiritual Audition music. The melody of the divine Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sufi Essence with Hammad Syed. Today, we delve into one of the most beautiful and sometimes misunderstood aspects of Sufi practice, Sama Spiritual Audition, or Sama music. For many Sufis, music, poetry, and movement are not mere entertainment, but profound vehicles for spiritual awakening, a direct path to experiencing the divine presence, and sometimes engaging in sacred dance. With the intention of awakening the heart and drawing closer to Allah, join me as we explore how Sama becomes the melody of the soul's journey to Allah, and to open the inner ear to the subtle whispers of the divine. In verses, act as keys to unlock states of ecstasy, longing, and profound awareness of Allah's beauty and majesty. Sama, literally meaning listening or audition, refers to the practice of listening to spiritual music, poetry. What is Sama? Beyond entertainment to spiritual audition. It is not about worldly music or frivolous entertainment. For the Sufi, Sama is a means to transcend the mundane, to quiet the ego. It is a spiritual discipline, form of Dhikr, where the melodies, the purpose of Sama, awakening the heart and soul. The primary purpose of Sama is to ignite and purify the heart. Sufis believe that the human soul, originally from the divine realm, yearns to return to its source. Sama acts as a reminder of this primordial covenant and a catalyst for this longing. Awakening longing shock. Melodies and verses of divine love stir the inherent yearning for Allah within the heart. Sufi masters have laid down strict conditions for its proper practice to ensure its spiritual efficacy and prevent purification of the nafs. The experience can overwhelm the lower self, burning away attachments and distractions. These conditions typically include attaining states. Sama can induce states of spiritual ecstasy, awe, longing, and intimacy with Allah, deepening remembrance. Dhikr. The rhythm and repetition in Sama can intensify the remembrance of Allah, leading to deeper concentration and presence. Unveiling realities. For some, Sama can lead to intuitive insights and a direct witnessing of spiritual realities. The conditions of Sama. A sacred context. Sama is not for everyone, nor is it to be engaged in lightly. It from becoming mere entertainment or a cause for heedlessness. Poets like Rumi, pure intention. The sole purpose must be to draw closer to Allah, not for worldly pleasure or show. Appropriate time and place. Conducted in a sacred, conducive environment, free from distractions. Suitable participants. Attended by sincere seekers whose hearts are prepared and whose intentions are pure. The symbolic whirling represents the planets revolving around the sun. Each aspect of the Sema, from the attire to the movements. Spiritual music, poetry, the content must be devotional. Praising Allah and His Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, or expressing divine love and longing. Presence of immersed, ideally conducted under the guidance or presence of a spiritual master who can discern the states of the participants and ensure proper conduct. Control of states. Participants should strive to maintain inner composure and not act out of uncontrolled emotion. The role of poetry and movement. Rumi and the Mevlevi Sema. Poetry is an integral part of Sama. The verses, often rich with metaphors of divine love, separation, and union, resonate deeply with the soul. Critics often cite general prohibitions against music in some interpretations of Islamic law. However, proponents of Sama, drawing from the vast Sufi tradition, argue that whose works are central to the Mevlevi order, masterfully express the human yearning for the divine. The Mevlevi Sema, the Whirling Dervishes, is perhaps the most iconic form of Sama involving movement. The soul revolving around the divine truth, and the journey of the soul's ascent and return. Carries profound spiritual meaning, aiming to annihilate the ego and unite with the beloved. The controversy and justification of Sama historically. Sama has been a point of debate within Islamic scholarship. Intention matters. The spiritual intention behind Sama distinguishes it from worldly music. Heart's response. The heart's response to divine remembrance, whether through sound or silence, is paramount. Prophetic precedent. Some narrations suggest that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his companions listened to poetry and chanting that stirred their hearts. It is a path where sound, rhythm, and poetry become sacred keys. Spiritual necessity. For many, it is a necessary means to overcome spiritual dryness and attain higher states of consciousness. If this lecture resonated with your spirit, please like this video. Subscribe to Sufi Essence with Hammad Syed. The key lies in the spiritual context and the purity of the participants' hearts and intentions. The fruits of authentic Sama, inner transformation until our next spiritual unveiling. May Allah always fill your heart with His remembrance. When practiced authentically and with proper etiquette, Sama can lead to profound spiritual fruits. Purification of the heart, cleansing the heart from heedlessness and worldly attachments. Intensified love for Allah and His Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, deepening the emotional and spiritual bond. Spiritual ecstasy and bliss, experiencing moments of profound joy and connection with the divine. Increased awareness, heightened consciousness of Allah's omnipresence. Inner peace and tranquility, a sense of calm and contentment that transcends worldly concerns. Unveiling of spiritual realities, glimpses of divine truths and insights. Conclusion: the sound of the soul's return. Sama Spiritual Audition is a testament to the diverse ways in which the human soul seeks to connect with its creator, unlocking the inner chambers of the heart and guiding the seeker back to the divine presence. It is the very essence of Sufi essence. Thank you for joining me on this melodic journey into Sama, and share your thoughts on the power of spiritual music in the comments below.